So, Sheikh, we have a few fiqh questions that many of us bikers may come across on our journeys. So, I'm sure you've seen a lot of motorcyclists. They wear big leather jackets, big boots. So, are we allowed to wipe over our boots when we're doing wudu?
Yes, you are allowed to wipe over your boots as long as you put them in whilst you had wudu. You put them on whilst having wudu. You are allowed to wipe over them. No issue, because those boots, they cover the whole foot, right? Which is, yani, the ankle and what's below and so on is what you need to wash. The boot, if it covers all of that, and you put it on in a state of tahara, i.e. you had wudu, you can wipe over it now.
So before we put the boots on, we should have wudu already.
You should already have wudu, meaning you made wudu properly when you put them on. So when you break wudu, when you have the boots on and you are making wudu, you can wipe over the boots. No issue with that.
And how long can I do this for?
You can do it when you're a resident. You can do it for 24 hours, starting from when you first wipe. So you count 24 hours from then. And if you are traveling, you can do it for 72 hours, starting from when you first wipe.
Okay, thank you. No. And obviously as well, sometimes we're traveling long distances. And especially in the winter now, the times are very, very short. What's the ruling concerning combining prayers?
Combining prayers and shortening prayers is a rukhsa, a concession that Allah Ta'ala has granted to the traveller. And they can shorten the prayers that are 4 rak'ahs, Dhuhr, Asr, Isha, to 2 rak'ahs. And Maghrib and Fajr stays the same. And they can also combine the prayers. They can combine Dhuhr and Asr together at Dhuhr time, or Dhuhr and Asr together at Asr time, or Maghrib and Isha at Maghrib time, or Maghrib and Isha at Isha time. That's the concession that Allah has granted the traveller. And Allah Ta'ala, from His infinite mercy, it is that the traveller, when he shortens the prayers, he's not required to pray the sunnah prayer that he normally prays when he's a resident. And he still gets the full reward for it as if he's done it, without him doing it, if he did it usually when he was a resident. All of that is a rahmah from Allah Azza wa Jal to make it easier for you to worship Him, to not make things difficult and hard so that you abandon the ibadah altogether. And now the question that may arise, it is that what makes you a traveller? When are you considered a traveller? The moment you leave your city that you reside in, for instance, I live in London. When I leave London, i.e. the borders of London, and I get onto the M25 for instance, and I travel for 49 miles or more, I'm traveling for 49 miles or more, then that's a safe opinion that you are a traveller. And another question that one may ask, it is how long am I a traveller for? And the answer to that is that you are a traveller as long as you're not a resident in the place that you are in. Meaning that you don't have any official papers there, you don't have any official home there, you're just visiting and you're going to go back to where you originally reside. You have all the concessions of a traveller, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best.
Jazakallah khair. Sheikh, the last question about traveling. In cases where water is very little, or you don't have enough water to do wudu, is Tayyamum permissible in this case?
If you do not have enough water, you are allowed to do Tayyamum. When is Tayyamum permissible? Tayyamum is permissible when you do not have water available for you to perform tahara, wudu. Then you are allowed to do tayammum. And I'm going to tell you how that is done. And the other way, or the other reason why you can do tayammum is that you are not able to use the water because it may be harmful to you. Right, then you are also allowed to do tayammum. For instance, if it's extremely cold and in the winter and you are outside and you may be ill, and by using the water you are certain that it's going to make you unwell and ill, then Allah Ta'ala does not want you to punish yourself. Allah Azza wa Jalla gives you a concession where you can do tayammum. Now, how does one do tayammum? Tayammum is done in the following manner. It can be done with anything that has something that originates from the earth. Whether it's soil, whether it's sand, whether it's even a wall that's made of something that's originated from the earth, anything like that, all you need to do is that you strike your hands on it like this. Okay, you strike it one time. And then once you strike it, you wipe over the top of your hands like this. One time. And then after that, what's remaining, you just do this on your face. One time. And the objective is not to get soil or sand on your hands and face. That's not the objective. The objective is not for you to have dust or sand or soil on your face. It's just a ritual that Allah Ta'ala has taught us to purify ourselves. Now, what breaks tayammum? Everything that breaks your wudu breaks tayammum. And the thing that we add to that, the moment that water is available for you to use for wudu, that also breaks tayammum and you have to make wudu. Now, and Allah knows best.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, Fadilat Sheikh, thank you for your time this evening. That's the end of the QA.
Jazakumullah khair.
Barakallahu feek. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
It's been an honor to be
Inshallah,
here.
won't be the last.
Inshallah.
And Allah yazid lak fil ilm, wal jaza. Wa barakallahu feek, Sheikh.
Allah yabarak.
Alhamdulillah.